Ian Harrison, the man in charge of corralling the brand new Red Bull KTM team. Brand new as in 2 new guys, 2 returning riders, Julien Beaumer, Aaron Plessinger, but then we also have Eli Tomac and Jorge Prado. So, Ian, what is it like to be Ian Harrison right now at the beginning of November?
It's good. It's always exciting to start a new season. There's always new things, new bikes, new riders. Not all the time, but when there's time, it's kind of exciting for everybody. And having Aaron be with us now for his 5th season, that's really cool. And then also Jorge joining us. He was part of the KTM family for so long. So now him coming back to the fold, I'm looking forward to that. He's young. He's a great rider. And I'm sure that we also have a lot to lean on. We have a lot of information that he liked in Europe, which we can use for him over here. So that weeds out a lot of stuff we have to guess on. And then obviously getting Eli is really cool. I mean, I mentioned this a couple times today already, but I've spent more than a decade trying to beat this guy. Now he's here. So now I can actually learn, like, what did he have that made him so good? For
sure.
So, I'm excited to see that and go from there.
This is investing in KTM's future by getting him, Like, you're having Eli, but you're also trying to figure out that. That's great. Like, what made this guy so good and makes him so good currently? His career is so interesting. The funny thing is that my wife pointed it out. The day he that he tore his Achilles, at the Salt Lake City Supercross, his first, major injury of the last few years. He was pretty close to retiring at that point. Eli was, and she told me that night, she's like, you know what, this is going to extend his career. And the funny thing is, my wife isn't even, a diehard Supercross fan. She just watches it with me. But she brought up a good point, and now I've mentioned it on videos and articles. Eli being at home, taking some time off, reminded him of how cool it is to race motocross and make money racing. So now he's extended his career, and it keeps going. So can I ask you how many years you guys have with him, or is that confidential for you?
No. We have a 1-year deal.
Okay.
With the option, if he wants to race another season, to extend it.
Nice.
So we'll see how it goes.
That's cool.
And like you said, there's been a couple of times when we thought, okay, this will be it, and maybe he's going to retire. And then, like you mentioned, my wife was kind of the same.
Really?
Yeah, she also thought that it was. I was like, no, if
he's
you do something, you'd be like, no.
Yeah.
But he's an impressive racer, and I mean, arguably still one of the very best in the world.
Yeah. And for you guys I think it's going to be a 2-year thing for him. I mean, for him to switch brands, to go all in, I don't think it's going to be a 1 more year. I think he's going to keep going. But for you guys, you've invested a lot switching from hydraulic to cable clutch just for him. Can you tell us about that process?
Yeah. So when these contract negotiations start pretty early now, with all riders, their time for negotiating can be anywhere starting in March all the way to June.
Yeah.
And once you start all of this, what's the normal thing? You start talking, and then you're like, hey, this is what I've seen over the years. Is this important to him? And yep, no, that's important.
Yeah.
So I got on the phone right away. I called Austria. I said, hey, listen, this is a little bit crazy. I believe in a hydraulic clutch. I think that's the future, but he's interested in cable. Do you think we can do that? And they said, yes, we can.
Nice.
So I said, all right,
cool.
Let's do it.
That's cool.
And then we built one, and Carlos, myself, and our team, we have learned so much about clutches and really looking into it, because we know he's hard on the clutch. So we're like, we better do our homework, because when he comes, we better be ready.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was a nice project. We did it over the summer. Did a lot of testing out at the test track with our test riders. Yeah.
Ryan Morris has been just feathering the clutch nonstop. Yeah. Right?
It's like a guitar string player.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, KTM does have the best stock clutch out of any brand. You guys use the stock basket still for your other riders like Aaron and those guys?
Steel. The stock basket is steel.
Yeah. So
some of the inside parts, the pressure plate, and we use Hinson.
Yeah.
But the basket is steel.
There you go.
Stock.
I love hearing that. The only brand that can run a stock steel clutch basket with the primary gear made into the clutch basket, KTM brands are the only ones that can do that. So that's a big selling point for us when we test motorcycles, is having a durable clutch. And so I think that will help Eli, who's always been known for being hard on the clutch. But that's exciting. You guys have been, working together with him. Is he going to be spending all of his time? I'm guessing. I don't even really have to ask this question, but he's not going to the Baker's factory, right? He's going to be staying in Colorado most of the year.
Yeah, Colorado. I've also just all learned this. He's new to me too, but I believe it gets too cold there in the winter. So he does a shift. He goes down to somewhere in Arizona. He has a few places there where it's warmer. Yeah. And then he'll be out here. And actually, we are making a trip out to Baker's in December. Cool. So we do it all.
That's cool.
We're mixing it up. That's cool. Getting everywhere, trying to get on some soft tracks on the East Coast. And yeah, so it's exciting.
I meant to ask Eli this question, but I can ask you, thankfully. How much has he ridden outdoors on the bike so far? Or has it just been straight to Supercross?
Basically Supercross.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have a learning curve when it comes to
the outdoors.
Yeah. And it's all new to all of us. And like I said, we've always been fierce competitors,
Yeah. And it's exciting.
So now the shoe's on the other foot.
Yeah. When it comes to managing things, I guess before I talk about Prado, I just want to ask about Aaron and his, like, the illness that he's having to come back from now, managing energy levels, and just managing that through racing and training. What is it like for you? What are you looking for in Aaron now as he comes back from this? And then what are you looking ahead to in 2026 to keep Aaron healthy, but also to keep all of your riders healthy from not suffering from what he suffered from? I mean, it's been a popular topic in our industry of Epstein-Barr, riders getting sick all the time. Like, is there something that you can do, or do you kind of leave that in the trainer's hands and you just focus on the bike and the rest of the team?
A great question. But if you think about yourself, you really don't pay any attention to your health when you're healthy.
Yeah.
But the second you get sick, then you can't get to a doctor or someone to give you answers quick enough.
Yeah.
And the same really applies to our athletes. They're like, why do I need to go do blood work? I feel good. I'm racing good. And if I think of Aaron's 25 Supercross run, I mean, he went 6 podiums in a row. Plus winning. He was on point. And then we went to the first 2 motocross outdoor races. He was incredible. Yeah. Nearly winning one up in Hangtown. Yeah. And this was the furthest thing from our minds. Yeah. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he started to run out of energy, and we thought, well, maybe he had a tough week at home. Maybe he's just hot. So we just kept kind of marching along. Yeah. And then it became really evident at Red Bull that the guy something was wrong. Yeah. And then you start looking into answers. Well, the answers take time.
They can't
this doctor, you got to go here, you got to go there. And so then things started to really slow down. But in the end, they have come to find out what it is, and he knows more about that information than I do. Yeah. But it's a thing with your body producing a glucose from the sugar and everything, and he's basically, you have a reserve in your body for when you're training or exerting yourself to use in those situations. Mm-hmm. But his was completely depleted.
Gotcha.
And then in the situation he could never build it back up. Yeah. And it's just steadily got worse and worse and worse. So he stopped riding. He did so many different tests. I mean, like you just said, Epstein-Barr, and all these things came back negative.
That's good.
And then finally they got to the bottom of this, and it was rest. And I think just the other day he rode for the first time on Thursday last week. Yeah. And I was talking to his wife, Kendall, and she said that he seemed pretty anxious the day before because he was like, am I going to go? And I'm not going to be good.
Yeah.
And then it was such a relief to I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I can. So he's on his way. And then Julien, not to drag things out too long, but he is recovering nicely. Yeah. And it looks like they're going to take the screws and the rods out in January. Nice. So we're looking forward to that.
Nice. Yeah, gnarly injury for him, and awesome to see he's doing better.
Yes.
And then for Jorge coming back, he said he's only got a few days on the bike so far, right? So he's just jumping straight into Supercross as well, huh? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you already mentioned your excitement for it. He mentioned it on our video. He's been KTM since 50s, 65s, 85s, and 125s, and then into the MXGP races. So exciting to see him back. And for him, what are your hopes? He mentioned that he'll probably be here in California, but will he go to Baker's factory, or where are you guys planning on him being, I guess, this year for training wise?
I think he'll eventually be out east at Baker's, because so many of the tracks are more suited to that terrain
for sure
that he can practice on. But I think in the beginning, just to get started and get going, he'll be out here. And we're looking forward to it. And like I said, the guy's a young guy. He has tons of experience. He's a 4-time world champion, multi-time. I think he's finished second a few times too. And there's no doubt in my mind he's a good rider.
That's cool.
So now it's a matter of, for me, the most important thing is to get him to Supercross, to get him through it.
Yep. And
then I know he'll really shine when we go into the motocross season.
That's cool. Yep. Well, Ian Harrison, thank you for your time. Exciting time to be a KTM guy right now.
Yep.
And looking forward to seeing how it goes next year.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Sweet. Thank you, Ian.